All right, so Shyvana Garen. This is a deck that we played in one of our best of 3 pick ban gauntlets, but we've not played it in a dedicated set on the ladder. Shyvana recently got a pump, so she got an extra point of attack. She is a 5/5 when attacking that levels up when she's seen dragon allies deal 12 plus points of damage. Her leveled mode is a phenomenal mid-range card. Every time it attacks, you get a strafing strike, which lets you control the board a little bit. We're pairing Shyvana in this deck with Garen here, which is just a really good beefcake champion, 5/5 for 5 with regenerate, so he heals himself each round. He levels up when he's struck twice, and his leveled mode lets you rally each turn. So this means you get to attack every single turn when you have leveled Garen in play, which means your Shyvana, allowing you to control your board, the board happens every single turn. Now, one of the things people that have seen me play these decks before note that I do a little bit different with these Shyvana builds is I'm not playing this really big dragons deck with a bunch of clunky, expensive cards. So actually the only other dragon we're playing in our deck past Shyvana is Screeching Dragon, just because it's another very good Runeterra card. The big advantage to only playing Shyvana and Screeching Dragon as our only 2 dragons is that it allows Dragon's Clutches to be a tutor, basically. So draw 2 different dragons out of your deck. So Dragon's Clutches in this deck always draws us 1 Shyvana, 1 Screeching Dragon, unless we've gone through all the copies of either of those out of our deck. So we've got a small Targon splash here. So we've also got some Solari Soldier at the bottom end of our curve. We've got some Hush. We've got some Solari Priestess. It's just a good utility card. Being able to invoke extra threats or removal is very key. Now, I did say we're only playing those 2 dragons, but we also have 3 copies of Egghead Researcher at the bottom end of our curve here. So this is a cheap card that blocks early against aggressive decks, and it generates a random dragon for us, and this can frequently find us bigger things to play out that also work well with our Shyvana. And then other cards we have are just, good Demacia cards, Dragon Guard Lieutenant, Bright Steel Paladin, Fleet Feather Tracker, Sharp Sight, Single Combat, a lot of the usual suspects in here. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it feels. Nice, Steve. Does this make Shiv hard to flip? I don't think so. Not in my experience at all, Guard the Great. So Shyvana self-enables basically over the course of 2 turns, and when you pair Shyvana with single combats and strafing strikes and concerted strikes, she really levels up very reasonably. Shyvana plus Screeching Dragon plus concerted strike basically levels her entirely on her own. Ewok, thank you for the 26 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Someone asked about Runeterra's tutorial. How hard is it to get into? In my opinion, Runeterra has the best tutorial of any game I've ever played, including card games. It's very, very well done. Well, we got a curve here. Opponent is likely playing a Go Hard control deck, so those Fleet Feather Tracker is likely to die, but it is what it is. That. Yeah, Dragon's Clutches is a virtual dragon as well, which is nice. This guarantees finds us dragons. Yeah, there'll be dragons.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
Yep, as predicted, this is dying. That was a good draw for them. We know they drew that for the turn. Maybe they were sitting on it. I don't know. I feel like if they had that last turn, they would have killed it before they took the hit.
Follow the tracks.
Meteor Shower is a great pickup here. It kills both Elise and Twisted Fate. D-Dash, thank you for up in that Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Good morning to you.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one. Eyes open.
Leave them Twisted Fate for a hot second here. Obviously, we can't play this turn, but I think we play Garen next turn to just, like, get our beatdown on. Opponent could be playing Vengeance, but they won't be able to kill both of these with Vengeance this turn, so... yeah, pretty reasonable attacks. Even if they, like, drop a Gangplank here, either of these trade into it. Thanks, D-Dash. Yeah, the highlight videos have been well received. Had really good feedback on those the last sub-survey.
They are nothing.
And if you're one of my regulars who hasn't visited my YouTube page in a while, in addition to the full-length stream stuff that I've always put up there, I'm also doing shorter highlight videos where I pick out one deck each day and do the deck tech, the wrap-up, and then 2 games showcasing it. That's a weird one to poke. 3 years to the date since I was working from home watching Jeff. Some things don't change. Thanks for keeping me around, Hat Crime Zombie. They might level Twisted Fate here because I didn't kill him. It's a little scary. So if they have a salvage here, they're gonna get to level this.
Gotta go with the flow.
Okay, and they have a glimpse. They get to level this now too. Yeah, we're definitely still killing it. We're not beating a level Twisted Fate staying in play. That's for sure. Someone asked, can I show the sub-survey results? Sure. I pulled them up on stream before. Not leveling Twisted Fate there is incredible for us.
Proud warriors of the sun's true light.
I think we're just going as wide as possible here. They have a Black Spear. Oh, that's so lucky. Ugh. I know their deck draws a lot of cards, but, like, having that on 6 is, yep. Definitely above average.
A game. Go on then.
It's probably their only zap target. Well, I'm gonna time you out because they've literally showed us other zap targets, so that's just objectively incorrect. They also play glimpses and stuff like that. You just get the dragon going.
You pay! I talk to spirits! These are my rules!
Try again.
Neither the flames nor the depths can claim me, Captain. I'm something of an aspiring trichologist.
So we have this to jump block here. We have Sharp Sight to jump in front of Gangplank here. We'll see if they open attacks or not. We take 3 if they do.
Get rich! What is this?
That'll be big. Unsurprisingly, like a midterm election, this sub-survey didn't really have, a nearly as many responses to the last one, because the last one was the decider between whether or not I was going to do more Runeterra stuff or more Magic stuff, so I only had 370 people that filled it out of our 1,500 subs or so, but, so, unsurprisingly, Runeterra content's at an all-time high because most of my people that were subbed for Magic fell off. And then, this was the highlight videos. 56% of people that were said they, so this is, I guess technically you should look at this as, so this is 56 plus 25 is what, 70, 80. So 56 out of 80 said that, the highlight videos added value to them, and these people said they weren't aware they existed. And then this is why I changed how the variety content was structured, because 40% of people said they wanted to see fewer games at a time with playthroughs happening faster. I think the sub numbers are established now. No, I bet we're going to get closer to 1,500 or go below. We'll see. It's hard to predict, isn't it? I would bet another 50 or so will fall off before we stabilize, if not more. Thank you to the anonymous sub-gifter, whoever you are. Good morning. I appreciate you. You know, I think I'm actually going to keep Screeching Dragon attacking here on odds. It's just, like, really good at helping us control the board in these aggro matchups. I'm going to mulligan the 2 single combats, looking for cheaper units to play in between, though, like this. Well, then. Yeah, Seasoned Pyromancer. My plan is to do Runeterra and variety stuff through the end of December regardless. And then if by the end of December, if things haven't stabilized back above 1,500, I'll go back to doing a mix of Magic and some Runeterra, with the primary focus being Magic. So, I don't plan to drop Runeterra altogether if we go below 1,500, but it definitely won't be the primary focus of what I do. So now I gotta decide, do I want a Sharp Sight to kill this? Probably not.
Never again will we fall to Dragonfire.
I guess we're really doing this.
Okay, I'm pretty okay with this trade here.
Guard the walls!
I don't know on the exact detail, Silence. I don't want to, and like I said, I don't really want to make plans in advance. Who knows what the world is gonna look like, you know, a month and a half from now. Sealand TV, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Hopelandia. Is there at least one suggestion every survey that makes your content better? Not really. A lot of the suggestions don't tend to be particularly actionable.
Time for the main event.
Yeah, the on-screen sub count is a live count.
You're covered.
Or it should be. I believe it is. Looks like the 10 sub gifts didn't pop up yet. Sometimes it takes them a second. Gifted subs 100% into it. The tool I use I don't think is instantaneous. I think it pings it every so often. It pings the Twitch API to download whatever the current number is.
I'll stop you.
Hey, thanks for the sub gift, dude. I mean, I've quite literally run tournaments before.
Time for the moneymaker.
See, I've done tournament commentary before. Do I want to do this to save this? I don't think so. I think I want to save this to work with my Screeching Dragon next turn. There's also the question of, do I want a Dragon first or Garen first? I think it's Dragon. I think I want to start controlling the board. Yeah, I agree, Mikabo. And like I've said a number of times before, I think Runeterra has an incredible amount of growth potential. I think Riot hasn't fully started investing advertising dollars in it yet because they're still scaling up their card pool and figuring out in-client tournaments and their esports details. So like I said, I don't intend to stop doing Runeterra altogether at any point. It's just, this is also the way I pay my mortgage though. So in the short term, if doing primarily Runeterra isn't sustainable, I just have to change that, at least in the short term, so I can continue to have a job and have a place to live. So they can open attacks here to crack us for a little bit.
Hey, kiddo, dig your kid up.
We fight for those who cannot.
Sorry, did you say something? Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm out and play.
So, for people that aren't familiar with Riot's plans, Riot is intending to have in-client tournament support. And they eventually plan to extend that in-client tournament support to third parties is their plan, they said. So, hopefully they double axe this, then we hush it and just blow them out.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah, there we go. See the sub count updated with the sub gifties. Sure.
No cheers. You all alone.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures. Break their ranks!
Burp.
I'm on a roll. Just you and me, Fishbones.
Goodbye, Jinx. Yeah, with our getting the rally token next turn. What's up, bud? Multi-shot. See, we gotta teach you how to spell yourself, bud. Well, you can look up your own multi-shots. Oh, was it one word, maybe? There you go. Enjoy. What reaction, if any, did you get from sponsors when you stopped doing Magic content? All my longer term ones have stayed on, Rich. The main thing that moving to Runeterra has hurt in terms of doing content for is the amount of money that I can derive for doing sponsored segments of other games is less because my viewer count is less when doing Runeterra. And like, how much you get for doing sponsored game segments is directly hingent on how many viewers you draw in. But there's a chance that that grows up over time too, right? Like, Bruised by God, Alan, Mogwai, Swim, all of them average really good numbers. I left Magic because Wizards of the Coast fundamentally changed the type of game that Magic is over the course of the last couple of years, and I really don't enjoy the new game that they've created. They also treat their customers and their creators pretty poorly, and their arena software is incredibly predatory and anti-consumer. It's not a terrible pickup. We could see them open attacks here, though.
Time for the main event.
Ours is the one true light.
So we'll get to go Dragon Lieutenant here into Brightsteel Protector next turn.
Let's boogie.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, we're definitely gonna revisit Tasty tonight. I enjoyed it last night. Yeah, that's also true, Minimo. A lot of the I think the only Runeterra streamer currently who has a higher sub count than I do is Grappler. He has his up on his screen too, and he has like 1,800. I had him on for a little bit last. I usually watch him for a little bit in the evenings.
Lieutenant, have you brought a specimen from the field?
That's right. There's a lot of metrics that go into it. The other flip side of that coin though is too, like, if you're someone like Swim or Mogwai who like consistently gets like 1,500 to 2,000 viewers, and like the amount of views they get on YouTube videos, like they hit metrics that like they can live off of ad revenue at that point. Like by comparison with the viewer count and like YouTube presence that I have, if my ad revenue hits like a few $100 in a month, like that's impressive.
You're covered.
Really need to be hitting that like 4-digit average concurrent viewers on Twitch, or like 5-digit per YouTube video views to see any sort of real revenue return on them.
What a specimen.
What exactly are we doing? We're doing this and this. This seems fine.
That didn't do nothing.
Yeah, Mogwai's YouTube presence is absurd. Like, even more absurd than his Twitch.
Now we're cooking.
A number of his videos push up on into, like, the 6 digits worth of views range.
Look lively. Dragons are here.
Look lively, the dragons are here. It's been good, Andy. We played a fearsome aggro deck to start today that was very competitive. Easy highlight for the day. We're probably hushing one of these. JK, we're hushing that one.
Uxian strength.
So we'll take 3 here, down to 9. We'll block here, plus hush this.
I smell fear.
We'll block with this so we get some dragon damage going. I think I'm gonna take the Meteor Shower. It kills Draven and Jinx. Hoping to dodge another crowd favorite here. I plan to play this out, and then we get to hook 2 of their elusives in combat with our 3/2s.
What's the fire breath this time?
A soldier should know to stay out of the way.
God, part of me wants to just burn their mana here. I think I need to take their elusives out of play. I also want to get a heal on this. Alright, do you have a Jinx and a way to empty your hand? Afternoon, Pedro.
I stand for Nazis!
So, I think we put this in front of here to have the most toughness we can put in front of here. And we take 4 down to 5, and notably not dead to a decimate. Oh, they're gonna hook this, and then I'm gonna be dead to a decimate. Feels bad, man.
No mercy for heretics.
It's a good play on their part.
Discipline and conviction.
My shield is yours.
I'm supposed to play Mind Splitter here.
Suffer my fury.
Well, they didn't have a third crowd favorite. We've not gotten burned out yet.
There are none like me.
Face me, you lowly worm!
Feels like running burn spells is how we lose this. Jinx, empty their hand also kills us. Wow, what is in their hand? It's like sitting on a bunch of rummages, like waiting to filter through. They got jury rigs. Well, dead to a vision.
All better than one.
I really wish her champion spell was Strafing Strike instead of Confront. Also dead to Mystic Shot and Get Excited here. This one. I don't know, I feel like this is probably worse than the Leona build. That's something I wanted to try some more of with this, but so far, Garen's been underwhelming, and I've definitely missed the Daybreak package. I think our deck's fine against aggro decks. Don't sideboard your deck every time you lose a game on the ladder. It's a good way to make your deck really bad. You're gonna die to aggro sometimes, chat. We were literally one turn off. What if my deck's already really bad? Asking the real questions.
Another day guarding the wall.
Oh, damn it. I don't have a dragon. I'm so dumb. Well, you know, mistakes happen.
Ours is the one true light.
Didn't matter.
I'm something of an aspiring trichologist.
Devotion to battle.
Israel Vi, so likely a control deck, maybe a mid-range deck.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Follow the horizon.
One girl wrecking crew.
I think we just Shyvana here, because if they want to challenge her, we get to hush them, right?
Trouble coming at ya.
I guess this gets in trouble if they have another piece of removal.
Dragons.
Like if they had like a Get Excited there or another Mystic Shot, I would lose this and they would keep their vibe. So I'm not sure that that play was right with the Strafing Strike there.
Stands for violence.
Really have good attacks this turn, huh?
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Easy round end.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it. It's not bragging if you can back it up.
You're covered.
They could very well be an extinction deck, but like we kind of have plenty of card advantage going on here, right? Like even if they extinction this board, I have this, and this draws 2 as well. So I'm pretty sure we're banking spell mana here and then opening on Screeching Dragon next turn. Ruination. The sweeper.
You and I have met before, haven't we?
They will learn to fear the sump.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Behold, my masterwork.
No way!
Ask me about dragons. I just may have an answer.
Jean will be mine.
I mean, I assume they're playing Pack Your Bags. I think we would have preferred Ruinate to what just happened. Yeah, the fact that they put a bunch of pressure into play along with their sweeper, and the fact that they hit this off their Unspeakable Horror is really rough.
Justice.
Yeah, we're technically dead to attacks.
A deadly fluid.
Fear is the first of many foes.
Yeah, that was brutal. Probably in the market for single combat. I'm gonna mulligan this one looking for another piece of filler in the middle. It's not super exciting. The opponent's archetype's not really an established deck, Elfanda.
less we fear. What is this? What a specimen!
Sure.
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform?
Dragon blood, Demacian heart.
Arr, arr!
This is your end.
So they are a PNZ Noxious deck here, so there's a good chance this just, like, eats a deal 2 here. That's probably fine, right? I'm gonna single combat these. Just clear them out. Am I guess that levels Swain, technically. Yeah, I think I am. And this lets me play Fleet Feather plus another Shyvana next turn to get an attack in. This does not level Shyvana, no. Sure. Well, single combat is a dragon dealing damage, but Shyvana has to survive the damage that she deals to level up. Flying Tempest, thank you for the 24 months of support. And Fernflow, thanks for coming back for the 23rd. Good afternoon, folks.
The feud for the member.
Dragon's a little bit too small to trade with Swain, unfortunately. I think I have to chump block if they open attacks here. Going down to sit 10 and letting this get another 3 towards leveling doesn't seem like a winning play. And also, if I block with this, it means Fleet Feather Tracker can finish us off instead of combat next turn.
I got ways to find a mushroom.
Huh? So with that play, I think I Solari Soldier now.
The dragons raised claws to get out.
So I think if they attack here now, I go chump trade, with the plan being this into this next turn. Oh, this doesn't even trade these bounce, right? Yeah, that's great. I prefer Sharp Sight to Pale Cascade, not only because we can't consistently trigger Nightfall with the way the curve of this deck works, but you're also leading on your combat tricks quite frequently against elusives.
You're covered.
the prevalence of Ezreal makes Sharp Sight better. The extra point of toughness that Sharp Sight provides is also valuable in the face of your, like, Fury units getting healed extra by it. So there's a lot of reasons to have Sharp Sight over Pale Cascade, I think.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
I'm standing right here, friend.
Opponent notably does not have mana for Leviathan just yet.
Break them!
Yeah, I don't really think I have room for more combat tricks innuendo. I think if you wanted to fit Pale Cascade in, you would need to get rid of something like Hush. I'm gonna Hush this so it's no longer leveling up, so that way it dies. Opponent has a bunch of cards in hand, but most of them are Mushroom Clouds here, so... Got a few dragons left over.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
Lovely plumage.
I'm so good.
So, this is notably our third Shyvana in hand, which means this Dragon's Clutches is not drawing 2 cards at the moment. Load me up, opponent.
You must have some unique insight into dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious, and deadly.
It's absolutely stellar.
Cruel, vicious, and deadly. Chat. Yeah, definitely giving +1/+1 here. This means these deal 12 total, which levels Shyvana. I assume they're gonna double mushroom us here, so that way they get these triggers. Wow, they're chumping the they're chumping the Imperium. That surprises me. Feel like Ezreal's the route to victory. I'll definitely take this though. Yeah, deal. Our 34 puff caps and 27 cards. So we're taking on average a little bit over 1 damage per draw from here.
Lieutenant, have you brought a specimen from the field?
We let you keep the edge. Be content with that.
Our 2-drop might have Challenger. There is a strong possibility. Alright, on the scoreboard at least.
Dragons have no remorse.
No remorse. Yeah, maybe Silence, like, we obviously don't know the contents of their decks. Like, if they had something like Progress Day, though, I feel like Ezreal's direct damage triggers could maybe steal that game for them. But there's also a chance they're, like, not playing Progress Day, so maybe they don't have that out to play too. Attacking on odds, we keep the Screeching Dragon. So we can play at turn 5 and get in there. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Something to fill out the curve in between the tracker and the Shyvana. Any of our 2s were great there.
These woods protect their own.
Tradesies.
My life for these lands.
Deal Arena. Fiora Shen. I've seen a ton of on the ladder recently. So is one of the decks that had a really good match win rate or game win rate in the data that Riot shared, though.
My shield is yours.
Another day guarding the walls.
Would you like to trade again?
Is yours.
Guard the walls!
I feel like our deck is probably the bigger deck in this matchup, which means trading aggressively early is good for us. The longer the game goes, I think the more likely we are to win.
Rivers shape the land and give it life. I walk this space between worlds.
Dragon blood, Demacian heart.
So I go.
Taking this hit.
From the river folk.
This card's super scary. Gives them a lot of card draw.
I am
Need to get this down and hook it. Garen plus Screeching Dragon has felt a little bit awkward. These are both units that you want to get on the board right away, and having to choose between them hasn't felt great.
What form will the waters take?
I think I'd rather kill this. Maybe it's right to kill this because this can challenge one of these.
Now I take to the sky.
As it had to be.
Yeah, Shyvana making herself bigger when she attacks is very, very useful. Get to trade with either of these at least.
With me.
Well, poop. Huh?
Their pride will cost them.
Yeah, we get to go Fleet Feather into Garen here, which means this can challenge this, which is nice. I think we open on attacks to play around to their Genevieve here. They want to use a combat trick to save this, that's fine. Yeah, this exchanges whatever. As the Fleet Feather sticks around, and you get a single combat out of their hand.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades. Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Yeah, maybe that's wrong.
Ask me about dragons, I just may have an answer.
We swim within the flows of magic.
Hush is a great pickup. Yes, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a Meteor Shower or a comment on the first one.
I am one with the land.
We could see a deny here.
They would fall by my blade.
Yep.
For the honor of Trimey.
See, you're in A North America.
En garde.
You're in over your head.
just gonna keep the cards flowing here.
Try me. On guard.
Yeah, they should definitely be hooking this so I can't trade with the Ripper Shaper. Going to 9-minute next turn, so I can bank 2 to have Hush up, but I can go Dragon at least, and this can hook this. I have Hush to beat like a Riposte here.
The scars to prove it.
What form will the waters take?
Depending on what they play, I might just rip in stars here, I think. You have a rally, maybe? Wow, nothing. What is in their hand? Did they, like, have a deny on the previous turn and not play it?
Try me. Counter and strike.
Who goes there?
Back heretic.
We fight for those who cannot.
Part of me wants to play this Screeching Dragon out, but I also kind of just want to take the pass here. I think I'm just going to take the pass. We're burning 3 mana versus their 6. If I, like, play this and then they rally, I'm pretty sad. Judgment's also a card I gotta kind of keep in my mind. It's not a card they often play, but occasionally they do. Huh? That's unfortunate. Maybe I was supposed to lead on Brightsteel Protector there for that reason.
We wear red to honor the fallen.
You're covered.
That's correct, Nib. There's just not a good tracking mechanism for it. So, deck submissions are done with bits or direct donations. Or tier 3 subs. What on God's green earth is in their hands? Feels a little bit like a salaried thespian. And just can't, like, they have just like a bunch of like Stand Uniteds or like what was the deal there? Like Riposte and stuff? Thanks, Dr. Logical. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing different things. We started Human Revolution last night. That was pretty good, so we're gonna revisit that again this evening. Ash to Johnny. Hush doesn't seem very useful here. Reasonable curve to start. I think I mulligan the Garen here too, looking for a dragon to pair with the Lieutenant. Okay, kinda, but not quite. Okay, that means we can play this on 3 with Challenger at least. We're just playing this out for curve purposes.
Devotion to battle.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get close to the end of finishing Horizon Zero Dawn on Saturday, or at least the main game. I plan to do the DLC too, because that world is great. No, they're just good cards, Hex.
Sharpen the blades, secure the kill.
Even before the 2020 vibes, yep.
Cut them apart.
Yep.
You are mine.
Sure.
I'm glad for your help. There's much to learn in the field.
You seem like you got a lot to learn.
You're covered.
Bright Steel here, and then probably bank spell mana for the turn. We get to run this into here.
Another lost.
Protect and strike.
That's fine. Unless they have more Frostplates, this trades with anything else they want to hook anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Zero Dawn sequel. It's supposed to come out next year for the PlayStation. That was part of the reason why I ended up getting the PS5 as opposed to a second streaming computer or the Xbox. So they're 1 mana off of Sejani.
Winter take you.
Play this as a soft pass, I think. And then if they don't challenge this inside of combat, or if they don't go to attacks here, I'll just pass. Because I want to play this turn, ideally, I think. There's something, but she, like, has a voice bubble stuck on her every time we play her lately. Must be something bugged with her card.
I am watching you, dragon.
Hey, similar. Thank you for the 17 months. Really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Good afternoon. Oh, that card is so brutal. We have really not been good at drawing our single combats. This gives us some really good open attacks next turn because it is Scout. Let's see what they play out here. Opponent not going wide at least, so the fact that they just cut our board down isn't a huge deal. We've got this to recover some card advantage, so depending on how quickly they redeploy, we can still be in an okay spot despite Reckoning being very good there.
Pain is nothing. Show them our teeth. Line up.
I don't think the Lee Zed deck was ever that busted, and the data agrees with my opinion on that. I think the Lee Zed deck just felt really bad to play against, so the emotional response that players had to it was very negative despite it being a fine power level. If you look at the data that was posted even before they nerfed him back to 5 mana, he didn't actually have that good of a win rate. Lee Zed had a lot of people complaining about it because it generates incredibly unfun play patterns. And I know fun's definitely something that's subjective, but I think the things that people find fun on average, that Lee Sin did not meet them. My deck's not bad, Jeff. It's just hard to play. Don't be mean to my deck, Jeff. No, your deck is bad. It's just if you play well, you can make up for it being a bad deck. Stop it. Get some help. Taking this for another Shyvana here. We just want to go as wide as possible here, I think.
Only the finest serve.
Ask me about dragons. I just may have an answer. Patience. Lieutenant, have you brought a specimen from the field?
We let you keep the egg. Be content with that.
Got your back.
The Striparian Assessor is probably just going to bury us here. We've gotten the raw end of a number of trades so far this game. Scourge could do it. Maybe. I think it's pretty unlikely we get another turn. I think there's a good chance we're dead to open attacks next turn. See what they do, though.
Your kind will answer.
I think this is probably going to be our last game with this deck. I think my conclusion is mostly that this is worse than the Leona Shyvana deck that we've worked on.
Avarosa, guide me.
All the world on one arrow.
If they Crystal Arrow to start, I get to Falling Comet Ash. So then we're not dead. We're dead to second Ash, though, that's for sure. Dead to a number of things. Like I said, I'd be surprised if we don't die in their combat next turn.
Lined up.
Sure. They may have a lot of things. There are a lot of cards we cannot currently beat.
Let fly.
Second Reckoning certainly makes that list. Even if they don't have another Ash here, we're still not in a good spot, right?
We fight for one Freljord.
I'll cut them apart.
I think playing Garen into their Trifarian Glory Seeker is a pretty bad play.
No mercy for heretics.
No closer. Believe or burn.
For Demacia!
For Demacia. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and be done with the episode, I think. This deck, I'm glad we played this deck. I wanted to get more repetition in with it. It was an idea that I had that we played to a couple of game wins in... We played this to a couple of game wins in one of the best of 3 gauntlets, but overall, I think this definitely lacked the power level of the Leona build. And I think there were two primary things that felt like they were lacking. The first was that my intention of playing Priestess and Soldier as just good cards that happened to have Daybreak, that didn't really come into practice. Without having Leona or something else that we were working towards, these cards just didn't feel good enough. Also, these cards being Daybreak cards felt incredibly awkward at a number of spots in the mid to late game because we didn't have any Day Spears in our deck. So a lot of the awkwardness of how these Daybreak cards work is often mitigated by having Daylight Spear in your deck, and the fact that we couldn't play multiple Daybreaks in certain turns of late game definitely tripped us up and made them feel even more clunky than they otherwise were. Garen just always looks like he should be reasonable and always ends up underperforming when I play him. So one thing that notably felt like an extra bit of awkward tension in this deck was Garen and Screeching Dragon are both cards that we generally want to play out as soon as possible, and we frequently had both of them in our hand, and we had to make a decision between which one we were playing sooner and which one we were playing later, which is with Daylight Spear in the Leona Shyvana deck, we don't really have that issue because playing Daylight Spear a turn later usually isn't a big deal. At any rate, that's going to wrap up for me today. I really appreciate everybody that